and also a longing. This is what the expression I expresses, I. Or maybe, for example, in South India, if you go South India, people say "ui." They say "ui," something like that. If so something, huh? Ayyo, yeah, they say ayyo. Yeah, ayyo, yeah. If something happens, if something bad, if something suddenly something happens, they say ayyo. So that's also an expression. Now this is another expression where this Bhagavatam is using aho, vichitram bhagavat cheshtitam, aho. Srila Prabhupada translates aho as alas. Alas. Now the meaning of alas is, here alas means just close it and sit. I'm getting disturbed now. No, just forget it. It's done. So alas, aho means alas. Alas. Aho is an expression which indicates wonder and also sorrow, or maybe disgust. Yeah, wonder and disgust together. That's this word aho. Like we say there, aho bhakiyam 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗀𝗃. In Bhagavatam that verse comes, which the verse which Sukadeva Goswami he heard, and then he simply went to Vyasadeva to read Bhagavatam. He was very impressed by this verse, where Bhagavatam tells that aho bhakiyam. Bhakiya means Putna. Putna came to give poison milk to Krishna, but Krishna took her as a mother, and he forgot that, and he actually overlooked the fact that she came to poison him. So that's there also the expression is used aho. So their expression is used again. That expression is of wonder and of what else? Yeah, again wonder and sorrow, because Sukadeva Goswami is thinking, oh, Krishna is so merciful, but I am not taken shelter of him. That's the whole idea. So here again this expression is used, aho, this very important expression, and again there is alas. There is wonder. Wonder why? Because this verse says that everybody is dying around us every day. It is said according to census, I don't know, it's Indian or world census, every second 6 children die. Every second. That's interesting. So people are dying around us like I mean to say, yeah, like leaves falling from the tree. But nevertheless, it's alas, it is so wonderful, it is so sorrowful, and it is so surprising that people don't take heed of this fact that we also have to die. That's the whole point. Yudhishthira Maharaj, Yaksh, he asked Yudhishthira Maharaj one question: what is the most surprising thing in this world? And he said the most surprising thing in this world is everybody dies, but everybody thinks that he will not die. This is interesting. So or in fact people live in such a fashion that they will live eternally. People make policies, people invest funds, and people think of future as if they are going to live eternally. This is the materialistic life. They forget reality that they have to die. So that's why it said aho. So aho vichitram bhagavat vicheshtitam. Now vichitram word is used. Why? Because it is said that it is so vichitra. Vichitra means wonderful, but vichitra also means it is so. So what do I say? It's what's that? Yeah. Astonishing. Vichitra means astonishing. It's so astonishing. Aho vichitram bhagavat vicheshtitam. The pastimes, vicheshtatam means cheshta means the activities. Vicheshta means special activities. Krishna's activities are special. Why? Because Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam aveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naeti mameti. So Arjuna, Krishna says, well, my birth and my activities are special. Divyam. Now here Prabhupada translates Divyam as transcendental. So Krishna's activities are vicheshtitam. It's special. Why? Because they are transcendental. And they are transcendental. Why? Because there is no iota of sense gratification or selfishness there. That's the meaning of Divyam. We always talk of transcendental activities of God. So generally we like to explain it in a theoretical fashion. Transcendental activities, and birth means beyond modes of material nature. But practically, if you want to understand what do we mean by transcendental, that means without selfishness and without selfishness, without sense gratification. And that's why devotees' activities also become transcendental, because all activities are just for the benefit of others. That's all. Benefit of devotees and benefit of God. That is transcendental. For God, transcendental activities it's the benefit for the world, and for devotees, transcendental activities means it's benefit for the God, for God. So that's the meaning of aho vichitram bhagavad vicheshtitam. Bhagavad vicheshtitam means the activities of Bhagavad, the activities of Krishna. Cheshta means activities, by the way. There it comes, Krishnanushīlanam. There Prabhupada mentions in Nectar of Devotion that that devotion means Anushīlanam. Devotion means serving Krishna. And there Prabhupada says that you can serve Krishna by two ways. One is cheshta, one is bhav. Anushīlanam. Shīlanam means service. How you can serve? By cheshta and bhav. Now cheshta means activities, bhav means emotions. So we can serve Krishna by activities and by emotions. In fact, all activities and all emotions should be just for the service of Krishna. That's the idea. Initially, but in the initial stages, because our emotions are uncontrolled. Our emotions are not within our control, and they are just like water, which just flows wherever is the where is the path, where is the slant, it just goes here and there. Water, you can just keep water in one form. It is formless. Once it's out of container. So mind is like that. Mind is like flowing here and there and everywhere. It's simply uncontrolled. So Krishna says, okay, if you can't serve me by emotions, at least start serving me by actions. This is called cheshta. So that's why Prabhupada says in sadhana bhakti has two parts: cheshta rupi bhakti, bhav rupi bhakti. We start with cheshta rupi bhakti. We engage our actions in Krishna service, but the aim is to engage bhava, emotions, in the service of Lord. That's the aim. Hridi sadhe sadhe bhava sa sadhana vidha. Because if emotions are not connected with Krishna, slowly our actions will also be divorced from Krishna. We will not be able to serve Krishna properly. And that's why Krishna says, Manmana bhav mad bhakto, engage your mind in my service. That's the ultimate target. Mind basically means emotions. The strongest part of mind is emotions. But to engage emotions in service of Lord, we need to be trained. Because our emotions now are not divya. Our emotions are all prakrit. They're all materialistic. Our emotions are completely suffused, completely packed up and full of selfishness. Each and every of our emotion is actually grounded in selfishness and sense gratification. So first we need to get out of selfishness and sense gratification by acting and serving Krishna, and then we are relatively free of that, then we can engage our emotions in service of Krishna. That's the whole idea there. So that's what is said here. Bhagavat vicheshtitam. It is said in Aho Vichitram Bhagavat vicheshtitam. It is said. So now if you understand vicheshtitam, cheshta, it is said how wonderful are the activities, cheshta. But what kind of activities? Vicheshtitam, transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. How wonderful are they? Cheshta also means intention. There is another meaning of intentions. We can also understand in this verse, the Bhagavatam is saying how wonderful are intentions of Krishna. So that is the point there. If we can understand the intentions of Krishna and his devotees, especially Srimati Radharani, who is a best devotee of Krishna, Prabhupada says. So if we can understand the intentions of Krishna and his devotees, then we develop same intentions and we become pure. That's the whole idea there. Aho vichitram bhagavad vicheshtitam. That's why the adjective vichitram is used. How wonderful are the activities and the intentions of Krishna. Why? Because bhava aushadhi, because they are the medicine for a material disease of lust and anger and envy. They act as a medicine. Why they act as a medicine? Because why they act as a medicine? Because when you meditate on the pastimes and the activities of Krishna and the intentions of Krishna, then you realize that Krishna and his devotees are so pure. That his talking, his walking, his seeing, his everything is completely devoid of selfishness. Completely devoid. His playing with gopis is also completely devoid of sense gratification. That's another mystery. He's always acting and speaking and intending just to please his devotees. and when you read these pastimes, this understanding of the pastimes of God, that purifies us. Only see, so many other people also read pastimes, so many in India, so many people have kathas and they seek pastimes, but nobody becomes pure. Why? Because sometimes you take medicine. These pastimes are like medicine, but if you take medicine and if it is not absorbed in our system, it doesn't work. Right? It has to get absorbed. Otherwise, it will just go out in the stool. So, we can take the medicine of pastimes of Krishna, but it has to get absorbed in our system, in our soul. And how will it get absorbed? It will get absorbed only when we have service attitude or the understanding that in pastimes of Krishna is just service, there is no selfishness. Krishna is serving his devotees, devotees are serving Krishna. and then we become pure. But if we simply read pastimes of Krishna and if we don't keep this fact in our mind, and if we can't see what is happening there, we simply see Krishna is dancing with gopis, Krishna is playing with friends, that's so nice, but that's not the point. The point is janma karma cheme divyam. You have to see the divya part in the pastimes. You have to see Krishna is playing with his friends. What is he doing there? Is he simply playing like boys? No. He's trying to please his devotees through playing. Is he simply dancing with gopis? No. He's trying to please his devotees through dancing. That's the whole idea. He doesn't want even an iota of happiness through those activities, because he himself is full of happiness. He wants to share his happiness. He wants to give his happiness to devotees. These kind of thoughts are very purifying. If we try to understand, if we try to see those pastimes with this angle, with this perspective, and this perspective develops only when you develop service attitude. Only through service attitude we can access the transcendentalness of the pastimes of Krishna, and we will be able to read those pastimes in that fashion, in that perspective. So that's why it is said, Aho vichitram bhagavad vicheshtitam. Vichitram, how wonderful are the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Why they are wonderful? Because they are purifying. Why they are purifying? Because every action, even his birth, is for the benefit of the entire world. Everything is for the benefit of entire world, benefit of devotees, benefit of everyone. This thought in itself is so purifying. And Krishna is showing by his action, okay, this is how it is executed, and I'll do that. And in spite of that, I mean to say, so despite of the fact that Krishna is doing so many activities, he is completely detached from those activities. Completely detached. And he doesn't get entangled in the laws of karma. That thought is also, that thing also makes his pastimes transcendental. It's completely detached. How do you so many? This is not possible for a living entity, by the way. A living entity cannot do things and become detached. It's only possible for God. But when we read those pastimes, we imbibe if you simply appreciate the pastimes of Lord, simply appreciate. You don't need even to really understand them. If you can simply appreciate the selflessness and the service part and the detachment part in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, you become pure. But if you don't appreciate these facts and if you simply hear the pastimes of Krishna as stories, nothing happens. It's simply like taking medicine which is not absorbed in your system. Medicine doesn't work. And that's why we see people don't become pure. That's the whole idea. So this verse is saying, Aho vichitram bhagavad vicheshtitam. Now he's saying, Lord's pastimes are so wonderful, but aho, but it's so sad. What's so sad? Ghanantam jano. Ghanantam jano means, Ghanantam means dying. Dying. Ghanantam, Prabhupada says death. So people are dying. It's so sad that people are dying. Janoyam hi mission. Janoyam hi mission. And they see that everybody is dying. Mission na pashyati. But they don't see death. Everybody knows that everybody has to die and they're seeing that everybody is dying, but they can't see death. That they also have to die. That's the whole idea. They forget death. In spite of seeing death, they cannot see death. That's the sad part. It is the sad part. Prabhupada used to say, the goat is standing in the queue to be slaughtered and it's simply busy and happy eating some grass. After some time, she'll be slaughtered. That's the whole idea. We are like that. We are like that. So that is. So this verse says it's so sad to see that people will get slaughtered one day, cruelly slaughtered. No, it's no matter whether you are A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, rich, poor, scholarly, or whatever you are. You have to die. That's a fact. That's a prudent fact. That is a harsh reality. But you have to remember it. This death is designed by God to make us humble. It is designed by God to make us humble. Krishna could have made us immortal, but no. To make us humble, to develop detachment from this material world, to actually help us get attracted to Him, to get attracted to eternity, where there is no death. That's why He made. There's a purpose for death. So people forget all these things. These people are like that, and what they are thinking instead of this fact, instead of Krishna's pastimes are so beautiful. Anybody who reads his pastimes, Prabhupada writes in the purport that that these pastimes are so wonderful not in this purport, but in Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada writes, these pastimes are so wonderful that it's impossible not to get attracted by those pastimes. But these foolish people, mortals, which they call as mortals, the people in spiritual world are called immortals, we are called mortals in the word of death, who are supposed to die. We don't surrender to God. Although we can become immortal, there's a promise of immortality and eternity if we surrender to God, even if we link up with Him, but we don't want. That's how sad, how foolish it is, no? How foolish it is. So Bhagavatam is saying what they want instead. Dhyayam asat. They leave sat and they want asat. They leave eternity, sat, and want asat, impermanent things. And that's the whole point. Why are we attracted towards impermanent things? Why are we attracted towards selfishness? Why are we attracted towards attachment? Why is that? We know that they are bad things, at least as devotees now, but still we are unable to leave it. Why is that? Because dhyayan asat, because we meditate on those things. Dhyayan, what Prabhupada writes, dhyayan, thinking about meditation. We meditate. Dhyayato vishyam pumsa sangaste shubhjayate. Because we meditate, and the more you meditate, the more you become attached to these things. It is said in, I think it is said in Ecclesiastes in Bible, somewhere. So it is said in Talmud. In Jewish religious texts, it is said that don't walk in the way of temptations, because you will not be able to walk away. Don't put yourself on the way of temptations, because you will not be able to walk away. That's the whole idea. The idea is, if you meditate on things of this material world, you are bound to become attached. You can't say, I'll meditate and I'll not become attached. That's not possible. It's not possible. So dhyayan asat, because we are meditating on impermanent things, we'll become attached to impermanent things. If we meditate on permanent things, we become attached. The nature of soul is to become attached. That's the idea which Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he actually raises this point in, I think, Tattva Vivek or some book. He says that the nature of soul is to attract, just like the nature of magnet is to attract. It might be this iron or that iron, it doesn't matter. So similarly, nature of soul is to attract. If we place ourselves in evil things, we'll become attracted to evil. If we place ourselves to pious things, we'll become attracted to pious things. So that's the point there. So we have to decide. It's not that we will place ourselves among evil things, among bad things, and will not get attracted. That's not, that we can't do as living entities. God can do that, but we can't do, and neither we should do an experiment like that. So it all boils down to where you place yourself. Dhyayan, that's the whole point. Dhyayan means where you place yourself. So why these people are not attracted towards so wonderful pastimes of God? God's pastimes are so attractive, so wonderful. But why we are not attracted? Why? So it's almost like saying, why, my dear sir, why you are not attracted towards females? There's just some problem. Are you important? It's almost like saying that our soul has become important. That's the idea. A potent soul will get attracted towards God. Our soul has become important. We are not getting attracted towards God. Why? Because dhyayan asat. Because we are meditating on evil. Asat also means evil. Asat means lies. Asat means temporary. Sat means light and good. Sat means truth. Sat means permanent things. So we choose evil, and that's why we become evil. If you choose evil, you become evil. If you choose good, you become good. That's the rule. So, but the whole problem is, you might question, why do we choose evil? That's the whole question there. Well, we choose evil because we don't have good association. We don't have information. Majority of people don't even understand what's evil, what's good. They have no idea what is evil, what is good. So what to choose if we even don't know what's bad, what is good? So then you're not in a position even to choose. People who know what is good and what is bad, they are also not able to choose good because of lack of association. Because association makes us strong, and that's why this Vedanta Sutra's first sutra is 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲 𝗪𝗲𝗪. And in that, the commentary to that, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada writes, 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗀 means now is a time to inquire into absolute truth. So Bhaktivedanta Swami raises a question, when is a time to inquire into absolute truth? Most of the acharyas, they comment that when you have got human birth, but Bhaktivedanta Swami says that's not the right answer. Many people have got human birth, but they don't inquire into absolute truth. The real answer is when you get association of devotees. That's the time to inquire into absolute truth. So dhyana sat, because these people, materialistic people, they are meditating on false, impermanent, evil things. Why? Because they don't have good association. There's nobody to tell them that that's wrong. There's nobody to convince them that you should not do that. So they're doing. And once you do, you get attracted. That's all. You can't stop being attracted. So the 𝗪𝗲 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗪, and because they are actually meditating on evil, they are doing vikarma. Vikarma means evil actions. That's why I said, if you choose evil, you become evil. That's the whole idea. You choose evil, you become evil. That's this line. Dhyana sat 𝗪𝗲 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗪. They are serving. Sevatam means service. Here Prabhupada writes to enjoy, because serving this material world means to enjoy. So they are serving bad master. They are serving evil because they are thinking about evil. That's the whole idea. So that's the meaning of sevitum. So they get entangled, birth after birth, day by day, and that's why he's saying aho. That's why he's saying so sad. It's so sad. You have diamond in front of you, and you are running away for stones. What's the point? Either you have to be mad or you have to be sad. One of these. You have to be really depressed, I don't want anything. You have to be completely crazy and mad. And that's why he's saying, he's actually getting surprised. Bhagavatam is getting surprised. What kind of people are these? Nirhritya purtram pitram 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗍. And 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗍, and these people desire a long life. 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗍. 𝗙𝗲𝗪𝗍 means you desire. 𝗙𝗲. Again, this is repeating. So this is a frequentative in Sanskrit. 𝗙𝗲. There's a repetition. I want to live. I want to live. I want to live, again and again. That thing is there. That thought is there. I don't want to die. I want to live. I want to live. And they want to live and live and live and live and live on. To do what? To do vikarma sevitum, to actually to do forbidden actions, to do evil and to think of evil and to enjoy, and that's what they want to do in this material world. Their 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, their whole life is revolving around lust and enjoyment. There's nothing else beside lust. This is called demons. So this verse is talking about demons actually, basically, or demoniac people who have demoniac tendencies. We are all like that. We're not talking of anybody else. We are all like that. Inside, we are all like that. Outside, we may be devotees. At least I can talk about myself. Inside, if I look, I am this. Dhyana sat 𝗪𝗲 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. we are all like this. But of course there's a hope. 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗪𝗀 if we get attracted towards the pastimes of Krishna, if we place ourselves in a good association and hear about Krishna and understand and hear the pastimes of Krishna and understand the transcendentalness of those pastimes and realize it, then there is a hope. Nirhitya putram pitram. So these materialistic people are so bad that they wait their fathers to die so that they can enjoy his property. Or maybe when the son dies, they may become unhappy. But if the son is rich and he leaves some money, okay, not so bad. He left some money for us. We can spend our life nicely. So their whole target is not relationships. Is not benefit of everybody. The whole target is simply self-benefit and enjoy. That's all. This is such a bad life. No, you are not useful for anybody. In this creation, everything is useful for everyone. Trees, sky, fire, air, water. In this creation, even non-living things are for the benefit of others. They also benefit others. And the animals, they come in use for transport and for many things, for milk, etc. But what about humans? Only human is a species which is of no benefit to anybody. Rather, humans exploit others. And that's the sad part. That's why he's saying, "Aho, it's such a sad story. Human story is a very sad story." And he says, what to do? The only solution is vichitram bhagavad vicheshtitam. Try to understand Krishna. Prabhupada always said, try to understand Krishna. We cannot understand Krishna completely. Even Krishna cannot understand himself completely. But we can understand Krishna to the extent how much scripture reveals. That we can do. And that is enough for us. We can spend millions of lives to understand how much Krishna is revealed in scriptures. It's inexhaustible. Inexhaustible, yeah. So, but then we become pure. That's the whole idea. So whole life should be centered around understanding and serving God. That's a simple fact of Krishna consciousness. That's what we are doing here. That's all. We're trying to understand and serve God with the aim to develop emotions for Him, pure emotions, so that we can serve Him by emotions and actions and thoughts. Soul is all about thinking, feeling, willing, and we want every faculty of soul to be engaged in service of God. Nothing should remain for us. We should become empty and give everything to God, to Krishna. Our thinking, our feeling, our willing, and this is what is consciousness. Consciousness is thinking, feeling, willing. Prabhupada said. So that is what Krishna consciousness gave. Krishna says, give your consciousness to me. Give your consciousness to me. Why? How do you do that? Krishna says, you see me, I am giving my consciousness to you, to devotees. So do the same, you give your consciousness to me. So you learn from me. How do I give my consciousness to you, Krishna? How do I give my thoughts and feelings and actions to you? Krishna says, you learn from me. I am giving my thoughts and actions and feelings to my devotees. You read my pastimes and you hear from my devotees, and you will see every action and thought and feelings I am doing, simply doing for the pleasure of my devotees. So once we read Krishna's pastimes, we understand how to do this. We understand that. And when we understand, then we can apply it in our life. Then we can also start doing for Krishna and his devotees. Same thing. What he's doing for us, we can do for him. So there was a saint in Christianity, I forgot his name. Saint 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗀. 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗀, I think. What was his name? I'm just skipping it. Let me just have a look. Saint John the Almoner. He was a saint, John the Almoner. And what happened was, somebody actually blamed him. He was a saint, so people are envious. So somebody blamed him something wrong, and he had to really so he really had a tough time. And people were blaming and he was suffering because of that. So then he went to Christ and he said, Christ, why this is happening to me? I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm blamed and people are blaming me and I'm suffering mental torture, and I'm like, so many people doing. So Christ said, what did I do to be crucified? And he was just kept shut. Christ, he was crucified, he was beaten, he was scourged for nothing. So then John the Almoner, he said, oh, at least I'm not, nobody's crucifying me. So he understood that. So we learn everything from God. Krishna comes here in this material world as God and also as his own devotee, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to teach us what is service. Because we couldn't learn from Krishna, so he had to come as a devotee to teach us. Okay, fine, I'll teach you how to learn from Krishna. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also always discussing Krishna's pastime, am I right? And while discussing Krishna's pastime, what he's thinking? He's appreciating the purity, the selflessness, the detachment, and the serving tendency, the humbleness of Krishna. He's appreciating. You read Antelila. That's what he's doing. So he's showing, okay, if you don't know how to appreciate Krishna's pastimes, how to understand the transcendentalness, I'll show you. But Krishna comes in this world and does many pastimes. There are many reasons for that, but one of the reasons is so that after he finishes pastimes, those pastimes will forever remain in this material world, so that the devotees can relish them. That's what Bhagavatam says, 𝗙𝗲𝗃 𝗪𝗲𝗪. They can relish them, and that relishing means they can understand the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions of Krishna, and they can appreciate them. That those thoughts and feelings are very different from our feelings and our thoughts and our actions, and how they are different. Our thoughts and actions and feelings all are full of enviousness, selfishness, lust, anger, greed. Or Krishna's thoughts, feelings, and actions, Krishna's consciousness is absolutely pure. And when you can identify and realize this fact, his consciousness is absolutely pure, Krishna's consciousness is absolutely pure, then you become Krishna consciousness. Then you become Krishna conscious. You become conscious of Krishna. That's the whole idea. So when you become conscious of Krishna, then your own consciousness becomes pure. That's the whole idea there. Because you understand consciousness of Krishna. When you become conscious of Krishna, then you understand the consciousness of Krishna. And when that happens, then you become pure, because he is pure. If you think of purity, you become pure. If you think of evil, you become evil. That's the whole idea. Because he is absolute pure, there is no evil, you also become pure. That's simple logic there. So this is what is all about this verse. I think I'll stop here. Anybody wants to ask anything, we can ask.